fight back and also get the Russians to move their stuff a bit further back from the front line, which of course will have impacts on its ability to support its frontline troops.
Retaking Crimea would be very hard, though, would it?
It would be extremely difficult. I mean, the history of Crimea demonstrates that there's some well-established defences. I think it's a really interesting claim by Zelensky that he wants to get Crimea back. I think that's a study all in its own as to whether that will be feasible. It doesn't seem reasonable at the moment.
And what's the latest if we now move on to Zaporizhia and the nuclear power plant there, both sides blaming each other? What do we know for sure?
Well, yeah, any fighting close to a nuclear power plant is obviously going to raise concerns, isn't it? The question again is, it's been held by the Russians since March. So why has it suddenly come into the news now? Well, the answer to that is that it's actually on the eastern side of the Dnipro River. On the western side of that river is, of course, Kherson, which is a key battleground at the moment, a stepping stone for Odessa. Ukraine has recently blown all the bridges up across that river, and the Russians are on the east side. It's isolated the Russians on the west side, and of course the Ukrainians are pounding Russian positions. So what the Russians are doing is they're hiding themselves away in the power plant, which of course, what would you do if you're Ukrainians now? The Russians are still able to fire out of the nuclear power plant, but Ukrainians can't fight back. So it's no great surprise that the Russians have rejected claims to demilitarize the area, and I don't see that being solved anytime soon.
And moving on in terms of the broader picture and where the fighting's likely to be most fierce next, talk of it going further south rather than just purely in the east. What's your take on that, and where would be the focus?
Well, it's a good point to zoom out again, I think, at the moment. Odessa's been on the news, obviously UN Secretary General's there, the grain issue, it's regularly under attack. It remains a key target for Russia, and Kherson would be a key stepping stone for that. But if we step out again, Russia's been leading this battle in the Donbass, and despite some heroic Ukrainian resistance, Russia has been gradually gaining ground steadily. It's not a battle that will be easy for Ukraine to win. What Ukraine has very successfully done is threatened a counterattack in a different part of the country down at Kherson. And because of that, Russia's had to consider redeploying some of its forces. So tens of thousands of forces apparently are moving down to the south. That has left, even though there's some fighting going on still in the Donbass, it's mainly artillery fire. And for the first time yesterday, the first time in the whole time of this war, no ground was gained by either side in this war. A telling indictment that shows that Russia, where it had been running the tempo of this war, now the Ukrainians are starting to take the initiative. There's a lot of fighting to come as everybody prepares for the winter months coming up. Why is that important? Because once the rains start to come at the end of summer, beginning of autumn, manoeuvre warfare will be a lot more difficult. It'll be a lot more difficult to get off the main tracks, and therefore it's likely the war will consolidate. Everybody's fighting for that pre-pause position.
When does that come? Which month?
It's not a specific month. It depends on the weather. We've seen some hot weather, but it's probably 8 to 10 weeks' time is probably when, once the rains fall, most of the heavy equipment, you won't be able to get them onto the grass, etc. It'll all be confined to roads.
Becoming our meteorologist as well, Sean. Thank you so much, as always, Sean Bell. This is Sky News. Coming up on the show, Apple users urged to use their devices carefully and update their software over a security flaw which could allow hackers to take complete control of iPhones. We'll discuss.
We have direct contacts with people inside the country, and we try to basically free all prisoners of conscience. It is outrageous. It's unprecedented. What we've seen is that usually since Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, came to power, Saudi human rights activists have been sentenced to lengthy sentences, but this 34 years is unprecedented, and we're very scared that it might become a pattern now. The chances will all depend on how the international community responds to this sentence. I mean, we've seen that also with, including my sister, who has been, arrested in 2018. She was also a human rights defender. And at the very beginning, they wanted to sentence her to the lengthiest sentence, which was 20 years. And with international pressure, the Saudi government, understood that their promises to reform the country and their promises to empower women won't be believed until human rights defenders are released. So as long as the international community stands for Salma, then we are sure that she might be released before the 34 years. I would say that there are changes in Saudi Arabia's, the women's rights situation in Saudi Arabia, but this doesn't mean that it is getting better. I mean, human rights defenders are sentenced to 34 years. They have been tortured. Some of them have been disappeared. So the very changes that are happening is only for the West to see, is only for the West to applaud, and it's only for the image of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
A lot of action going on. I'm Alex Crawford and I'm Sky's special correspondent based in Istanbul.
This is what makes the job so fantastic.
Welcome back. Apple users are being urged to update their devices after the company admitted there's a serious security flaw which could allow hackers to take complete control of iPhones, iPads and Macs. Apple didn't give any further information on how many users were affected by the vulnerability, but said it's aware of a report that the issue has already been exploited. Let's speak to cybersecurity expert Jamie Collier, who's in West London. Jamie, I mean, we do get various updates or mentions of cyber threats from all sorts of tech suppliers fairly regularly these days. Is this a major one that's seriously worrying, or is it kind of a run-of-the-mill warning?
Well, good morning, Wilfred. I think to a large extent it is run-of-the-mill. We typically expect the likes of Apple and other large technology companies to maybe receive special attention when they discover vulnerabilities. But we see that these technology companies are discovering these vulnerabilities all the time. It's really part of business as usual, if you like. The key is that they've issued a security update very quickly. I think maybe where the questions lie for this one is we know, we've heard reports it's been actively exploited. Details are a little bit more vague there. So that's, I think, where people are perhaps concerned. And
the bottom line is it's a case of an example where if you update your software, then your device is safe, or as safe as can be fairly quickly.
That's absolutely right. So I think the bottom line is that people should remain calm. What we're also seeing now is that Apple have actually made it incredibly easy to update your systems. They've introduced automatic updates. So rather than having to opt into updates where you get these notifications saying, do you want to update your system? Most people would say do it later because they've got things to do on those devices. What we now see is that these devices are typically updating automatically overnight. So actually for the majority of Sky viewers, hopefully they'll find that their iPads, their iPhones, their Mac devices are already secure against this device if they have that automatic update on.
And overall, where does Apple stand in the rank of these big companies, these big tech companies, in terms of prioritizing consumer safety versus sort of not actively exploiting it, but being very, very careful with these types of potential threats?
Well, I think Apple, as well as all the other large technology companies, are really making this a clear priority, and they're able to, disclose these vulnerabilities. They're able to provide security updates very quickly, and they're doing this, typically in a very kind of transparent way. I think there are some broader issues there at play. What we're seeing here is, while this is targeting Mac devices and say laptops, desktop, etc. We're also seeing it going after mobile devices. Increasingly more and more of our lives are taking place online. More business is taking place online. So I think there is a broader point here about the increased importance of keeping not just our laptops, our desktops secure, but also paying additional attention to mobile devices as well.
Jamie, thanks so much for joining us, Jamie Collier.
Thanks very much.
This is Sky News Today, and coming up, the Kremlin warns of radiation leaks in the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. We'll discuss that in more detail.
Steve is taking action for climate with solar panels. By adding them to your home, you can generate clean electricity and save money on your bill. And don't forget, all our customers get 100% renewable electricity with E.ON Next. Find out more at eonenergy.com.
Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
That is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. And the morning show. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's Starr Radio UK. And the morning show.
This is Starr Radio UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. The coolest way to start your weekend.
broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands. The hand that made me who I am. Same for now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are you will never change. You remain the same to the end. This is Starr Radio. To the end. You are one who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why forever call you great.
Oh, great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. We thank the Lord for another opportunity. As I say all the time, once you have life, there is hope for you. And therefore, today, the 19th day of August, did you think that you were going to come this far? You might have been very optimistic, but hey, when challenges were facing, or you were facing challenges, or challenges were coming your way with every trouble and every whatever thing that was thrown at you, some way, somehow, you were resilient and you are still alive. Maybe you gave up at a point, but hey, you have life, and therefore there is hope. And so let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. And once again, welcome to the program. I will take this opportunity to say good morning to my colleagues. Mr. Olayomi, the Tabiri CEO of GL Accountancy Services, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. You will never change. You remain the same to the end. And to you wonderful people who are tuning in this morning to listen to us or watch us or whatever you're doing with us, I salute each and every one of you. And once again, I say welcome to the show. Working behind the scenes, Mr. Frank Davids, and all you wonderful people. Sir Moses, good morning to you. I say good morning to Anthony Adedaji in the USA, Aziz in the USA, Amaya Jirgani in Niger, and all you wonderful people in America, those of you in Europe, those of you in Asia, those of you in Australia, and those of you on the African continent, especially those of you in Nigeria. I say good morning to you, and to those of you in Ghana, those of you in South Africa, and those of you listening to us in Uganda, Tiso Radio. And to the one and only Casino all the way in Moscow. I say good morning to each and every one of you. And once again, welcome to the show. Makes You Great, playing in the background by Edith Morrison. You will never change. You remain the same. We are broadcasting live on all our social media platforms and on the Starr Radio UK app. Go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android. Just type in Starr Radio Global to pop up and download it for free. But let me take the opportunity to say good morning to Ruth, who has joined in on the program. Those of you on the YouTube channel, massive good morning to you all. to all guests who come on the shows, various shows on this platform. We salute each and every one of you and thank you for your support there as well. And especially you who is listening or watching me this morning. Michael Bwedu, good morning to you. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. As you know, as I say all the time, it's making the headlines from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. For sure, I'm going to touch on it. So, those of you who are tuning in for the first time on a Friday edition of the morning show, this is how the program goes on Fridays. I'm going to be bringing you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, and the travel update as well. Move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. We continue from then. And exactement. At 11 o'clock, we'll have Mr. Olayomi joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. We'll continue from that place as well. Looking at all the other stories making the rounds. Then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussion. We'll continue until 12:30 when we bring you our man himself, Mr. Tabiri.
Holy, holy God.
Who will be bringing you the money hour today. And after that, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what is going to be happening. So once again, welcome to the show and welcome on board. If you are standing, hold on to something. Sitting, sit very comfortably, buckle up. Because at times it gets bumpy. I'll be rest assured of one thing. Save a river at your destination. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only. And let me say good morning to Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri.
You will never change. You remain the same to the end. To the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign.
Okay, let's move on.
That's why forever call you great.
Now the quote for the day says, to say that success is by luck is to conclude in essence that opportunity is not created but merely chanced upon. You need not make any effort towards it.
Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord.
And today it says to succeed in any field you need knowledge, not just knowledge but relevant knowledge. So the trader you find yourself in, are you acquiring more knowledge or are you becoming like an archaic person? Whatever it is, continue to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. That one you can do, right? Welcome once again. I'm moving on straight to the weather front. This afternoon there will be a mix of sunny spells and patchy cloud, but it will remain dry. And then this evening and tonight will continue dry. There will be clear spells for most overnight with just 1 or 2 patches of cloud drifting in a cooler night than last. So temperature is going to be 25 degrees, the lower is going to be 13 degrees. And when it comes to the weekend weather for you, tomorrow morning will continue dry with plenty of early sunshine. In the afternoon, patchy cloud will tend to build, bringing a small chance of a shower, but cloud will clear away towards evening.
I worship you.
Okay, Starr Radio UK. Now continuing with the weather front, what is happening? The top temperature is going to be 24 degrees, otherwise it's going to be 15 degrees. And come Sunday, top temperature 23 degrees, otherwise 16 degrees there as well. But we're going to be seeing a bit of variable cloud gradually building through the day with an odd light shower possible in the afternoon. Outbreaks of heavy rain will arrive overnight into Monday. So that is the end of the weather forecast for you. Pollen level is going to be high, UV level moderate, and pollution low as well. Sunset 2012 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:55 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and I'll bring you the travel updates. And as you know, there is lots and lots happening there, and I'm going to bring that your way. So stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise our bond. Now, how is your travels like today? Wow, those of you in London, well, a bit of relief for today. But there's going to be some more strikes over the weekend. Industrial action to affect services until Saturday, the 20th August. The MTTSAA and all that are still embarking on a strike. So if you can avoid any of the routes, maybe using your scooter or maybe driving, please do so. So in a nutshell, let me just hang it that way, that is what is going to happen. So in a nutshell, industrial action taking place all across board. But wherever you are listening to us from outside the UK, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you. Enjoy your commute for today. And those of you in the UK as well, enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads. Okay, so let's take this break and then I'll bring you the Global Trotting. All right.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Okay, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yes, there are various programs that Starr Radio UK has lined up. If you want to join in during the course of the those programs, feel free to do so once they are up. If you download our apps or if you subscribe to our YouTube page or subscribe to our Facebook, anytime we are on or you invite us or become friends with us, anytime we are on, it will give you a prompt and then you can also listen, watch or do whatever you want to do with that. Okay, but now let's go to other parts of the world for Global Trotting. What is happening today? Yes. We're going to be looking into that. So stay tuned. Don't you go away. Yes, my apologies. I thought that there's going to be a big sneeze. Wow. All right then. Now let's move on. Now, the 2023 Buhari appointed as APC Presidential Campaign Council Chairman. And a lot more going to be coming from there when Mr. Olayomi joins us. Now, details of Tinubu's meeting with APC governors has emerged as well. And ex-governors candidate dumps PDP and joins Peter Obi. Well, has Peter Obi got the momentum? Nigerian circle Bajamia Mila as he dances to K's Daniel's Buga amidst current economic crisis. Well, it's not only in Nigeria, you know. Is it the Swedish? One of their leaders, one of them was also dancing. Yesterday, I did talk about that briefly as well. So if you're a leader, don't go dancing now. If you want to dance, make sure that there are no videos, nobody's recording. Dance in your own room, when people are suffering, you are supposed to be the leader. You have to keep your head down and find way to get out of this hellhole. Now, Sharif Modu quits APC for PDP. And what UN told President Buhari in Madugri. I will bring you more on that front once we come back on Updates from Nigeria. Mofa rescues 431 stranded Ghanaians in UAE. Wow. We'll be bringing you more on that story as well. A few of them there. It's not only Ghanaians there as well. Flag bearer Baumia Alan advised Atachia calls for consensus to break the aid. So flag bearer should be Baumia and Alan should be the vice. How plausible would that be? Well, we'll see about that. Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. One other story from Ghana as well. Heavy police presence at Kumasi Kwame Nkrumah Universities of Science and Technology after Conti Katanga clash. I mean, this clash, when there was one university clash in University of Ghana, Legon, I think sometime last week or thereabout, a couple of weeks ago. And you see, that's why we say that some people are saying that they should temper justice with mercy. Now, this is what is happening. Because they did that, now we have KNUST, also students, also embarking on the same thing. So, you don't crack the whip, you spoil the child. So I think it's about time they crack the whip. Now there should be competition, there should be rivalry, but not rivalry in destroying things, but rivalry in exposing maybe our athletic prowess or maybe educational prowess. Whatever it is, that's what we have to do, but not going throwing, destroying things. I think they need to be charged and charged severely. Well, it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. Now, moving on straight to one other story making the rounds as well on the African continent. Emirates to suspend Nigeria flights over block funds. We did talk about that yesterday, and some other stories there. 5 years on from deadly Sierra Leone mudslide, risk remain, and Nigeria joins the world in to commemorate Humanitarian Day. Interesting. I bet your live because we'll be talking more about that as well. Senegalese born TikTok star gets Italian citizenship. Okay, those are some of the stories making the rounds there. It is Star Radio UK. Now, in other parts of the world as well, moving on. Russia rejects call to demilitarize nuclear plant. The appeal comes amid warnings of a nuclear disaster as each side accuses the other of shelling it. Now, Russia is saying that, well, there's a shelling, but they reckon that it is the Ukrainians who are doing so. And the Ukrainians are also saying it's the Russians who are doing so. But we know that if anything should happen to that, remember the Chernobyl disaster and the lives that were lost. I mean, look at all that. Well, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Top Trump executive pleads guilty to tax crimes. How does that impact Donald Trump himself? Now, doubt cast over Musk's Twitter both claims. Now, Elon Musk thinks a third of visible Twitter accounts could be bots, but researchers have their reservations there. Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there as well. A growing share of under 30s pay unaffordable rent. That is true. But you know, interestingly, when they live with parents, they don't want to be coughing up. You know, they just want to go partying. I don't say that it's not good to party. You have to party. Hey, it is good to party. But you have to make sure that you are saving. You living with your parents, make sure you are saving. You are saving as much. Let them see. Let them. But they will just think, okay, if I have to contribute a little quota, then I'll contribute, and then all the rest just go and blow it. I've had a course of chatting with some parents, and they've talked about that. They think that it's something that troubles them. But well, there's a growing share of under 30s who are paying unaffordable rent because they think that, you know what, we want to live on our own. We want to. Okay. Fierce landlords to keep tenants 400 energy pay points. Well, so it's going to be going up. It's going to be going up. So if you are living at home, make sure you take good advantage of that. A man has been charged with mobility scooters murder, and then drought sees first hosepipe ban in Wales since 1989. Consumer confidence his record low as prices soar. Shoppers concern come in the face of soaring cost of living and bleak economic prospects, says a research. Energy cost risk, humanitarian crisis. That's what the NHS are saying. What is going to happen there? They reckon that when the cold comes, more and more people will get sick as those who choose between skipping meals or heating their homes. But will the government react to it? This morning, in an interview with the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, he was of the view that, look, we have got only 2 weeks more for the contest to be over, and then whoever wins would sit down. But because the Labour was trying to call on the Prime Minister to call immediately, to call back Parliament so that they can sit to address this issue. Because the price cap seemed to be, it's going to be coming through, I think, whether this next week, and therefore they think that something should be done about it. But nothing has been done so far. But you know what? You don't have to touch the dial. Continue to stay tuned and listen to us on Starr Radio UK, because we're going to be addressing lots of the issues there. Let's enjoy this song from Pastor Theodora Boachiansa and Mog, and he says, I Will Dwell.
your smartphone.
By Pastor Theodore Abwachiansa and Mog. It is Starr Radio UK, the Friday edition of the morning show. Show up Mr. Olayomi joining us in the next few moments. But I hope that you enjoy that tune. I think it's about time that mankind seek God. Whatever the situation might be, or whatever you might be. But some way, somehow, when things are tough, the good book says something. And that was one of the sayings of David. Said, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord who made the heavens and the earth. When he's done everything, when everything is said and done, we have one maker and our God that we have to seek. So wherever you are, I hope that you've enjoyed that tune. But at this juncture, we're going to be crossing over to North London, where we've got our own Mr. Olayomi Koiki ready to bring you updates from Nigeria. So wherever you are, don't you go away at all. Of course, it is a Friday edition of the morning show. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Okay, let's go to Mr. Olayomi Koiki this morning. And let me say a massive good morning to you, Yomi.
Well, good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning to all our producers and all the back-end team that are working tirelessly as we are now almost, the weekend period. I welcome you once again to those that have joined us from different parts of the globe. And it is a very good morning. I'll come back again to you slightly in the studio.
Yes. I need to line Mr. Olayomi Koiki up. Don't you worry if you're not seeing him. I can see him, but I need to line him up. So just bear with me whilst I try to sort that out. Yeah, how was your night?
It's been a very beautiful night as usual. I was late sleeping up till about 2 o'clock in the morning, but it is back again in the morning as usual because we love what we do. And the reason why we're here is to continue to give all the news and the headline coming out of Nigeria as usual. So it was a very long night, but as usual, we're back again this morning doing what we love to do best.
Okay. Listen, for the sake of those of you who have to view us, just hold on for a moment whilst we just enjoy a bit of music and bring Yomi on your screens in a moment. So just bear with me. Enjoy the rest of that song that we were playing. I will dwell. Stay tuned. Yomi, just hold on for a bit. Yeah. Sincerely for the break-in transmission to Mr. Olayomi by way lining him up, and we should have him in the next few moments. Okay, I think what we're going to be doing, we have to go on the audio whilst we wait to see if we can get the voiceover, the picture of Mr. Olayomi Koiki on. It's not from his end, I think it's from the studio, and the technical team are working assiduously on it. But let me go back to Yomi. Yomi! Hello, Yomi? Hello, Yomi? Okay. Listeners, just continue to bear with me whilst I try to sort Yomi's transmission out. Hello, Yomi?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, morning. Okay, just bear with us. We couldn't hear you, and now we couldn't.
No. I actually muted on my background.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just bear with us. I don't know. There's something playing up on the system, but let's move on. Whilst the technical team are trying to work on that, let's move on. I don't want us to hold our listeners in suspense. Now let's come to some of the story. Bring your greetings to the listeners, and then let's move on, please.
Well, first and foremost, as we say, it is the Friday edition of the morning show, the 19th of August 2022. I would like to say good morning to all the friends and family of Starr Radio UK. And as we're running into the weekend, we hope you will also be staying tuned with us throughout the weekend for all the news, the headline, the music that will be coming up later on Saturday and Sunday. But for now, we'll be giving you all the updated headlines coming out of Nigeria again this morning.
Okay. Listeners, my apologies, my sincere apologies. It's nothing to do with connectivity from Yomi's place, but it's something to do with what is happening in the studios. But the technical team are working on it, so just bear with me. But let me acknowledge Adedayo Adeshola. It says good morning, sir. Equator and Miss Gold. How are you guys doing today? Yes, Miss Gold, we are doing very, very well. It's only that at times technology can give you a whip, and technology seems to be giving us a whip this morning. But hey, whatever happens, we are still here to bring you all that you need to know. All right, Yomi, was the technical teams continue. I have to say is that investors will abandon Nigeria as Buhari regime withholds 464 million foreign airlines revenue. Yesterday we were talking about the United Arab Emirates, their airline. And now they are saying that more of them are going to, withdraw from Nigeria. What exactly is happening on that front?
Well, yes, you're quite right. It's just under 24 hours yesterday that we came up, to announce the Emirates airline have actually now suspended their flight from the 1st of September next month, due to the fact that the company is finding it very, very difficult, to extract some of their, repatriate their funds to their home countries. And again, this morning, the airline that is coming to say, trap Forex, more airlines to suspend operation. As we do know, Nigeria, the last time we have an airline was the Nigerian Airways in the 80s, and that was completely bankrupted and eventually went into kaput. But as we speak right now, if I'm have to fly from United Kingdom to Nigeria, is either you're going through the Virgin or the British Airways. But also the British Airways has already reduced their flight frequency to Nigeria. Could that be a signal that the British Airways that flew into Abuja and Lagos might eventually cut down, some of the air, the flight traveling to Nigeria as well? It's coming up to say the British Airways has reduced their flight frequency to Nigeria as the airline informed its passenger on Thursday of an imminent hike in the cost of his flight ticket. According to what we know, the international airline have also halted operation in Nigeria, rising airfares because of their inability to repatriate funds to their home country. In June, there was a report by the International Air Transport Association, IATA, that expressed concerns over the decision by the federal government of Nigeria to block foreign airline from repatriating ticket sales revenue that has now run into almost $450 million. That's about 188.6 billion naira in their respective countries. But what do we understand? Nigeria get about 90% of its United States dollar from the sale of the crude oil, but the problem is we are not producing enough. So that means our GDP will continue to decline, and that literally means more trouble for a lot of Nigerians that still want to travel. Who are the majority of those that are traveling? We have a lot of diaspora, in their millions across different parts of the globe this morning, and they will definitely want to travel back home, for whatever reason, emergency reasons, birthday, home celebration, or whatever it is. But the question then is, what is the Central Bank of Nigeria going to do to make dollar accessible for the repatriation by the foreign airline within Nigeria operation is the question that is in the minds of millions of Nigeria. Remember that last week we talked about a 1-hour flight from Lagos to Abuja is now becoming so expensive. We're talking about almost going to 120,000 naira and almost 150,000 naira as well. But how long will the pressure continue is the question, because if the airline have now said that they're not going to be traveling to Nigeria, like Emirates have announced that, how many airlines should we be expecting? I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just bear with me. As I said, the technical team are working assiduously to bring you everything that you need to know. I think we seem to be getting Mr. Olayomi Koike. Let me see whether we can get his image now. Just bear with us whilst we try to.
While we're still waiting for you, for the engineer, let me continue with some of the other headline, until we're back to you again in the studio. Once again, a very good morning to those that have joined us. And as we go into some of those headlines, again, as we remember that we have a lot of Nigerians that are living in different parts of the globe. But this morning, images, videos is already coming out from Dubai, which again, is part of the Emirates, that is going to be suspending their flight. But this time around, it is the Nigerians that are living in Dubai that would have to come back home because some of them would have to be deported, according to the news that we are getting. We have, Nigerians that lives across the globe, but sometimes, the reason why people travel, to some of these countries is for greener pasture and also. But what we are now saying, with the news that I saw this morning is so many Nigerians would have to, return back, to Nigeria, because the Dubai authority, either for reason known to them, they are not renewing their their immigration status, visas have been cancelled, and that is having a big toll. Just 2 days ago, implication of the new UAE visa rules for Nigeria travelers is making it very, very difficult. But as we speak right now, to our listeners, Nigerians are now stranded in Dubai and now seeking the federal government for assistance. So a group of Nigerians are stranded in United Arab Emirates, have now sent an SOS to the government seeking to be evacuated back to the country. According to one of the ladies who spoke to the media on the telephone, says that they have been in Dubai deportation camp for over a week without adequate food and care. According to her, the lady says most of them were trafficked into United Arab Emirates on the promise of being given a job, but were rather used for commercial sexual exploitation, with the travel documents seized from them. So that has become a very big one for so many people that are having families and concern as well. So we hope the federal government will take the necessary action as quickly as possible, to look into some of these Nigerians that are already stuck. But like I said, I've seen the video. It's a very, very sad one. Citizens are now called for Nigerian government for the help. You would expect that the ambassador should be working tirelessly in this kind of situation. But this is where a lot of Nigerians and those that are now saying that we cannot just continue like this, because if we are not respected as Yoruba people, as the Biafra people, as even the Middle Belt, should we continue to be part of a country that disrespect the citizens? Yes, the reason why people have traveled in the first place is because of the situation at home, whether the welfare, the education, the insecurity, as well. I'm going to touch one more, but do let me know when you want me to come back into the studio. Once again, it is still your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Aisha Buhari worried over high rate of drug abuse among women and youth. The president's wife expressed the readiness to support any cause geared towards tackling the menace. We do know that those drug related issues is not just in Nigeria, is a global issue, and just as Nigeria is going through its own as well. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, yesterday lamented that 1 out of every 4 drug users, one is a woman. She's now charging the traditional and religious bodies to set up advocacy against the menace. According to her, the 2021 joint survey of the National Bureau of Statistics and the Center for Research and Information of Substance Abuse, CRIS, supported by the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime, was disturbing. Nigeria had about 14.3 million of its productive population engaged in drug abuse. This is quite very, very high. We're talking about 14.3 million, Nigerians, out of its productive population engaged in drug abuse, and the figure is projected to rise up by 40% by the year 2030. That is if Nigeria is still binding together as a country. Okay. This is approximately
listeners, we are sincerely apologize for that. We haven't, the technical team are still working on it. But Yomi, before you continue from there, let me just acknowledge a few people who have to join us as well. Adeshina Adeyemo, it's a good morning, Koike and Star Radio UK. Regards from Bishop Adeshina. Bishop, good morning to you. And Mo Yiwa Shenuga says good morning. House, I believe very soon it will happen by itself. The boat will catch fire, the cowards will be brave, and they will have power to fight back when they are left with no option. Moyiwa Senegal says Yoruba Nation now. And so let me say thank you very much to all of you who are on the Facebook as well. We salute each and every one of you. But let me go back to Yomi. We apologize, we cannot see the image of Mr. Olayomi Koiki this morning due to some technical issue that is going on, but as I said earlier on, the technical team is working assiduously to bring you that, so just bear with us. But we have the voiceover of Mr. Olayomi Koiki, and let's go back to him. But a quick one on the travels, because those of us in the diaspora, most of us, some people have gone down to Nigeria on holiday, some are still planning to go. Now, how do people, when you are once in Nigeria, if you want to travel, how do you acquire your buy your ticket? Do you have to buy it online, or you buy it so that if people who can afford, because it's happening that it looks like people are buying the tickets in maybe the dollar equivalent, dollar equivalent in naira, okay, but the government has to give them the dollars, which the government is failing to do so. So what is happening is government trying to take the dollars of or the foreign currency of these airlines, and that's what's causing the problem.
Well, I mean, yes, I mean, the cause of the problem is trapped forex, in the country, and that literally means that, Nigeria, as we speak right now, the government is unwilling to allow, investors, to repatriate their fund that has been used, by Nigerians in the first place. If I was in Nigeria this morning and I needed to travel to UK, what I have to do is, you can go through any of the agents, or you can literally buy it online. But I think most people use the agent because the online system in Nigeria is not as stable as just going on the Expedia or any of the ones that we use here in UK, and I can easily buy my ticket without seeing any agent and the assurance that I will receive the ticket. It's a different thing entirely in Nigeria, so you will have to rely on an agent to purchase the ticket. So while you are doing the transaction, you are not using the dollar to buy the the ticket. You are literally using naira to purchase your ticket. So, but according to the IATA, says investors would abandon Nigeria as Buhari regime now withhold $464 million of foreign airline revenue. I don't know what the law says, whether airline have the right to repatriate their money, or the money have to totally be invested back in Nigeria, because I mean, even if the money has to be invested, I'm not sure the whole fund has to be. The IATA is disappointed that the amount of airline money that has been blocked for repatriation by the Nigerian government grew. Could there be another signal? I'm just trying to look at it from a different angle. Is there something that we don't know? Because election is coming, the instability in the country. Maybe some of these airlines, are getting gear ready, because they don't know what the situation is going to be. Nigeria is going through a very, very difficult time, and there's no doubt about it. The government knows, the international community knows about it, and could there be why some of them just want to take some of those money back before everything goes, into a different dimension? But before coming back to you in the studio, the IATA said this, on their, on Twitter. Is now urging Buhari regime to prioritize the release of the fund before more damage is done, noting that the failure to do so will affect Nigeria's access to its services. Airlines can't be expected to fly if they cannot realize revenue from the ticket sales. Loss of connectivity harms the economy, hurt investors' confidence, impact jobs and people's lives, according to the Global Airline Association. IATA statement followed Emirates Airline announcing a suspension of all flights to and from Nigeria after several attempts to take back their 85 million that is stuck already in Nigeria. So it now looks like Nigeria is collapsing gradually.
Now, interestingly, maybe they have a period of time that government, the funds has to be released to, maybe they have maybe 2 months or maybe a month or whatever. I don't know. We've not got those details, but listeners, we promise you that we'll be doing diligence to that over the weekend, and then we'll be bringing you more on that front. But how can government say that they are what, holding on to $400+ million that doesn't belong to them? Even if the companies are not supposed to repatriate 100% of their monies, I know at least they will repatriate, let's call it 80% of it. So why is government not releasing some of it to them and saying that maybe that one has to stay? What exactly is going on? Is it time that everything falling apart, as we've been saying all along? Let me say good morning to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi for joining us as well. And as many of you who are on the Facebook, we salute you, and every other platform that you're listening to us from, we salute you. But my apologies, because we don't have the live view or pictures coming from the North London studios. Just bear with us. It's nothing to do with where he is, but I think it's something to do with the connectivity here. So just bear with us while the technical team continue on that front. But Yomi, now let's come to the mass deportation issue that you were talking about, because it's pertaining to traveling. Now, nobody in his right sense of mind would say that I'm living in my house where everything is there. We've got gold, as the Christians will say, when the Israelites were being taken from Egypt to go to the promised land, they were promised milk and honey and everything. Now, if you are in your home and you have all those things, do you think you want to go out? It's just a few who are that way that will want to be going out to explore, to go and find out whatever is out there. So for government to be sitting down and not seeing to it that who is inviting people to go to this United Arab Emirates or wherever they are, where they are facing deportation, and what is the government doing about that as well?
It's not just United Arab Emirates that we have a lot of Nigerians that are stuck, when it comes to immigration issues. I mean, let's come back to UK. UK has a very, very tough immigration rules, and that has actually affected, so many thousands of Nigerians that, got here, one way or the other, and they decided to stay, doesn't want to go back. But the situation that we have in Dubai, according to what, the report says, that is about 200 persons, both male and female, that have now been kept in a deportation camp, and they will be transferred back to Nigeria, which we don't know when that is going to be happening. But you're quite right. Some Nigerians have been given a false information. Apart from this, the reason for Nigerians wants to go out of the country is because of so many, reasons, economic reasons, jobs wise. I mean, in the 80s, we have Nigerians that were literally traveling out of Nigeria, and they're willing to return back to Nigeria as quickly as possible because there was a job opportunity, and they thought everybody was building a country, only for us now to realize that the country has not been built. It has already been living on a false pretense. So Nigeria has been on an illusion. But this time around, I mean, somebody like myself, left Nigeria in the almost 2 decades ago, and as of today, we still have more Nigerians that are traveling. Dubai seems to be, a country that opened its door, when it comes to, Nigerians that wanted to go there. I mean, they've now actually started tightening their immigration rules. So, in the past, you can easily, get a Dubai visa, and within a space of time, you're already in Dubai. Dubai is not as what you might think, but it is still much better, than Nigeria. Those that are going there are given the false pretense that they will get a good job when they get there, but it's a different thing entirely. Remember that the people that are going are probably going in the hope that they will get something for nothing, only for them to realize that it is a false pretense.
It is sad. It is sad, but I don't know who these traffickers, let me put it that way, are, and as whether government is doing anything to find them, to find out what exactly they are doing so that they can crack down on them. But we're not very sure of all that. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:35. And let's move on to some of the other stories that you were talking about. Aisha Buhari worried over high rate of drug abuse among women and youth. Now that's quite scary. If he's saying that 1 out of 4 of drug abusers are women, then we have a problem.
Yeah, you're quite right. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to the society, you expect the women, to be up there, but like you did say, 1 out of 5 women, using drugs. Like we say, is there any reason for that again? The reasons, known would be that people are very, very going through a lot. Not just the women. I actually come across a very, very, pathetic sad video where a young man, in Nigeria, in Yoruba, precisely from what he was saying, committed a suicide, and he did a video before he committed a suicide, pleading with the wife and the children that the debt that he has. As a lot of people are going through so much in Nigeria, as the poverty rate continues, we will end up seeing more people using drugs as well, even though it is not the right thing to do. Do we have mechanism support? That is where the president's wife is saying that something needs to be done now, to support those that are going through, drug-related issues.
Now, has Nigeria got anything to maybe combat drug abuse like what we have here? Though we know that there's lots of drug abusers happening here when it comes to these advanced countries, but they still have a system where these people are gradually, pulled out, or they have a support system that can help them out of it if they want to. Does Nigeria has anything of the sort?
Well, yes, we have a lot of NGOs, both here in UK and other countries, and likewise the ones set up in Nigeria. The NDLA is there, working around the clock to stop, importation and export, import and output of drugs out of the country, and those that wants to bring them as well. But when we talk about drugs, drugs comes in different form and different shape. We have people that are using, medicine that are probably, let me give an example. If I was to go to Asda this morning, I would not be allowed to buy more than 2 sachets of paracetamol, because in as much as it's a painkiller, it can also be used in a way that could have a big impact. The president's wife says she expressed readiness to support any cause that is geared towards tackling the menace. But the first lady also told the gathering that women have a vital role to play towards the modeling the characters of their children for better upbringing. But the reason again that we are seeing more pressure within the society is the fact that the poverty rate continue to grow as Nigeria remain the capital poverty of the world as we speak this morning.
Okay, today Equator to you as well. Listen to Star Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi again, our North London studios. I'm Archie. Apologies, we're gonna see a live video from our North London studio. Just bear with us while the technical team try to work on it assiduously. But let's move on to some other stories. Abduction again. it's virtually becoming like a norm. You wake up and today, if there's no abduction, it becomes an anomaly. So some students are adopted as well.
Yes, you're quite right. Yesterday, in Enugu State, it was a very sad one, as there was a case of kidnap, as well. Nigerians are probably even not even understanding, the magnitude of, some of these issues, because if we continue to see, more Nigerians being kidnapped, ransom paid, we're talking about huge ransom. And some of individuals pay this ransom, and it doesn't even come to the limelight at all, because some believe that coming to the limelight is not going to be a very good one for the society. But what can be done to stop the kidnapping? The only thing that we can only advise is that the government, I'm talking about the state governors, now need to buckle up to stop the menace. Those that are committing this act, as we know, is due to the border that has been left open, and also we have so many other criminal activities as well. But like we say, may Nigeria never happen to you. So these 2 individuals are law school students, adopted, by the government in Enugu State, the southeast of Nigeria. The students, according to the source, they were adopted around 8 p.m. yesterday. When it gets to about 6 p.m. in Nigeria, if you're probably still outside, you're prone to a lot of things. I was in Nigeria, a couple of years, and I was there last year. And what you could experience is, the more longer you are spending outside, either because of the traffic, you become, even in Lagos, and that takes us back to, the young lady that was justice for Bamishe. Bamishe was actually leaving work, as a fashion designer in Lagos State, heading to her brother's wife to support her because she was pregnant. She never got to the destination, but one thing that saved her, one thing that allowed us to know what we know is that she did a short video while she was in the BRT, which is the Lagos transportation, telling her friends that it seems strange, this vehicle has actually turned off the light. She was eventually raped, part of her body was taken off, and she was dumped naked. We're talking about Lagos State, not to compare people that are not even in Lagos, in Enugu State, where at 8 p.m. it will literally looks like you are already in the middle of the morning, about 1 a.m. I'm talking about because of there's no electricity everywhere, will be completely pitch dark, and your chances of not being kidnapped is very, very slim. They were said to have gone to the market area to buy food before they were ambushed by the gunmen.
Wow. Listeners, it is Star Radio UK, where we bring you all the updates that you need to know when it comes to Nigeria and other parts of the world. But Mr. Olayomi Kweke in our North London studios, I'm Archie here in the South studios. Once again, apologize for the lack of live visual from the North London studios. Okay, now Yomi, let's move on to some other stories. Over to you.
Well, let's go straight to one more, which is the United Nations. As a lot of indigenous people would love United Nations to intervene in the total breakup of Nigeria, so that they can become their own independent country. But rather, it seems United Nations is doing otherwise as we speak right now. So if you're joining us, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. So one thing we can say is the current situation literally means that as we speak right now, Boko Haram, United Nations, reiterates commitment to Borno humanitarian crisis. For how long, must United Nations continue to support humanitarian crisis when so many people are now saying, the union of us in Nigeria is literally not working, so we are better off, to come out of Nigeria gradually. But rather, the UN has renewed the commitment of humanitarian community to supporting Borno and other heat crises. How do we know this? The United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Matthias, has renewed the commitment of the humanitarian community to supporting Borno and other heat crises. I mean, does the United Nations wants, until the whole country, especially the southwest, we know the northern part of the country is completely gone. Must we wait for humanitarian disaster, to happen before we allow individual indigenous people, to leave the country? Because if the country is no longer working, there is no need trying to keep everybody together. We are better off, to be left on our own. But the United Nations is not going to do that, but rather, from the headline that we've just talked about, they are properly ready, in supporting humanitarian disaster. So let me go a little bit further. According to what we know, Mr. Matthias stated this in Maiduguri yesterday to mark 2020 World Humanitarian Day, graced by President Muhammadu Buhari. Allow me to recall that United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said this the same city just a few months ago, that the people of Borno have endured too much suffering and pain, and that it was inspired by the opportunities he saw to move forward with hope and dignity. I would rather want Nigeria to break up so that we can take care of our borders than allowing United Nations to continue to use Nigeria as a statistics, and measures as we speak. I'll come back again to you, but if we allow, let's just go straight to the social media.
Yes, go on to the social media.
Just review everything back. If you're joining us for the first time, you're listening to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Quite a lot of push, as Peter Obi continue, to trend more on the social media, as more push is also going in as well. But according to what I can say here on the Biafra Twitter at Biafra Tweet some 18 hours ago, join us to wish and celebrate one of our amiable defense and special counsel to Mazinam Dekano and IPOB barrister Aloy Ejimako, the man that taught Nigerian government the meaning of extraordinary rendition crime and its consequences. Happy birthday to barrister Aloy Ejimako. Remember that the government was actually trying to pretend that Nnamdi Kanu was just picked up from Kenya and returned back to Nigeria. But what a lot of people end up understanding is there's what they call rendition, which actually was what the federal government did. The federal government kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, brought him back. He's still currently in the custody of the DSS. But what we can say is it seems barrister Aloy Ejimako from this individual says the federal government was taught how and what it means to kidnap somebody from Kenya. Also, there's a lot of campaign going on. Peter Obi says this some 20 hours ago. We will also rebuke all such ploys of deceit and calumny meant to create disaffection among Nigeria voting population would desire credible leadership change. That is coming from Peter Obi. Let's take one from Ifafunsho this morning at Ifafunsho Graphics. Yoruba land are lands of opportunities that is lacking in many states in Nigeria, land of milk and richness, where people are coming to invest and flourish. If Yoruba nation finally comes to realization, Yoruba land will be the most developed and peaceful nation in Africa. And then I come back to you, Mr. Archie, in the studio. This is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. Let me say good morning to Comfort Olugunja. He said Buhari has brought hardship to Nigeria, so people are depressed. Buhari is their source of addiction. My goodness. Of course, if people are depressed and they don't know what to do, they cannot get food to eat, they will do anything just to keep their mind or distract them from their problems that they are facing. And that is one of the things. I'm not saying it should be, but that is one of the things that is causing all these people who are getting themselves involved in drugs. But well, it's all coming away from Star Radio UK and Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now the UN, have they gone back to, or have they approached the federal government again pertaining to what they said about Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, the case of the Nnamdi Kanu, nothing much has been said. Yes, his legal team are still, working hard to get him released, from the custody of, the DSS. How soon that is going to happen is what we don't know. But you're quite right. Remember that United Nations, one of the humanitarian, on August the 2nd, UN decision on Nnamdi Kanu's unconditional release binding. The government have not responded, even though, part of the northern groups, actually responded on behalf of maybe the government, because they actually, about 52 of the northern groups, literally asked the United Nations, to keep away from the current situation of what is happening in Nigeria. But what we know, about 2 weeks ago precisely, where the special counsel to Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of the Biafra, IPOB, Aloy Ejimakor, we just wish happy birthday, stated that the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention is a quasi-judicial body that has a subsisting legal mandate of the United Nations to consider, the human rights petition against member nation. Let us remember that Nigeria signs a lot of treaty with United Nations and other countries, when it comes to human rights. But it's a country that disrespect, and probably even as much as they've signed some of these treaties, we'll probably not, get to know. But as the General Assembly is coming up next month, there's a lot of rumor that the president might not be attending. I don't want to believe that, but we wait and see. But if the president is going to be attending, just as he did last year, that would then mean that there will be a lot of pressure on him, in terms of, Nnamdi Kanu being kept, in the custody of the DSS, while the country has a lot of terrorists that are still running around without appropriate, stopping that and having a big impact in the economy and the investment of so many Nigerians that still believe in Nigeria, not people like us.
Dr. Morton, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us. But one before we go, now if it happens that Buhari is going to the UN, I'm sure that there's going to be lots of demonstrators out there who will be pushing, doing all sorts. But the Northern Elders, what have they said? What have been their stand pertaining to abduction, terrorism, and what do we call them, Boko Haram, and all those? How strong have they been when it comes to that issue? Briefly, please.
Well, the elder forums, when it comes to the situation in the country, tend to say that it is not the Fulanis, because remember that most of them are Fulani lineage as well, so they tend to be as very quiet on the issue of the situation in the country. But yes, they understand and they know that there's crisis in Nigeria. But what they're saying, they're challenging, the Benue State governor, for arresting as many, Mayati Hala, that are just, cattle herders. But, we do know that evidence-based, that a lot of these cattle herders are the same people that are committing most of the atrocity that has been affected. So they're not saying so much, as against, the terrorism, but they believe that Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB are terrorists, and as the government has prescribed them, for a very long time, they must be kept in that condition. But those that are the Fulani herders, should not be said to be, terrorists. And that is where, the Benue State Governor Autumn said some few, weeks back that, why would you keep Nnamdi Kanu, that has not killed anyone, but yet we have terrorists that are roaming around with AK-49, no longer AK-47, and destroying farms, killing individuals. And as we continue to say, there's a lot that is still going on when it comes to kidnapping issue in Nigeria. Just as we said yesterday, that 2 innocent Nigerians lost to them going to buy food at about 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is not, so late as you can think of. I mean, we're not talking about 12, we're not talking about 10 p.m. They were still moving around at 8 p.m. And that shows how unsafe Nigeria is today if you can be kidnapped at about 8 p.m. local time.
Well, Jesus says something in the Bible. He says that take the log out of your eye so that you can see clearly, to take the peck out of someone's eyes. And that's what I'll be telling the northern elders now. They have to see to that. Look at who is rampaging the country and tell us who has to be seen to or dealt with. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Yomi, over the weekend, are there any activities for Odua or IPOP or any activities at all?
Well, next week is a very busy one where the Yorubas will be gathering again in Dustin, for a cultural day event that is coming up. In terms of other engagement, yes, next week there's a lot of rally that will be held in Yoruba land, from Ilaro, according to what we have. And this one says, Omo Yoruba, Ogun State, in conjunction with all the Yoruba Nation agitators, Yoruba Nation out of Nigeria, a special movement for campaign that will be happening in Ilaro on the 27th from 9 a.m. Also, there will be a movement in Ibadan on the 27th as well. Just 2 days ago, we had, the Akikanju Obìnrin Adúláwọ̀ Àgbáyé that held a conference in Lagos State, campaigning and giving awareness, and also some kind of gift to those at home. So, quite a lot is being prepared. And the other one next week before we go is Awa Omo Yoruba Ajijangbara Otaku Awaye. We'll be having a peaceful rally in Ibadan on the 27th at 10 a.m. But the most important mega rally that about 1 million people will be expected is still being held, but will be announced, by the leader of the Yoruba movement, Professor Banji Akintoye, and Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, and the rest of the team, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri, that will be announcing that at the appropriate time. But for now, over this weekend, we will just be having meetings as usual and engagement and advising people that the campaign remain peaceful, as we have said, out of Nigeria.
Okay, Yomi, before you go.
Well, it is the weekend, and this is where people get paid every Friday in UK. And otherwise, as you're going out to enjoy the weekend here in UK, also for those at home, remember to stay safe. And the only way to keep safe is also to follow all the news and the headline from Starr Radio UK on our Twitter, Instagram, and likewise, I'll be back again on Monday morning. May Nigeria never happen to you. And the young man that died, that committed suicide, we pray for the family that he left behind, because in that video, he talked about his wife and his children. And also, we pray for those individuals that are going through difficult times in Nigeria today.
Wow. Yomi, let me say thank you very much, and have a lovely weekend. We'll catch up later.
Bye for now, Mr. Archie. Bye. And bye to all our listeners.
Yes. Listeners, we are sincerely apologize for not bringing you a live feed from Ms. Olayomi Koiki. It was only the audio feed that you were getting. It was due to some technical errors that was going on. But the technical team are working assiduously to resolve that. Hopefully, once we come on again with updates or any programs where we have live feed, it will be live. Okay? We're going to take a break. I'm going to bring you the song, and then after that, I'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. We'll be looking at what is happening in Ghana. Ooh, tough times. Like it's happening in Nigeria, is worse off in Ghana as well. Now, the flagship program that was introduced by the Ghanaian government at the time, the MPP, was saying the free SHS. We, at the beginning, much as we love everybody to have a free education, as much as it can be, we're saying that it should be means tested. Well, government decided, no, you know what? Whether they're rich, whether they're poor, whatever it is, they all have to now come together and all enjoy. It was a good call. However, we're not at a place where we've got abundance of money of that sort. Therefore, that seemed to be going down the drain, and students who are in hostels or in the boarding schools or houses are not getting food to eat. Now, some are appealing to Old Students Association and other helpers to come their way to come and help them to acquire food. Now, what do you think the government has to do? It looks like the government is having being stiff-necked and still going on their path. But enjoy this song, and it is from the Babylon System, and it's a cover version of Bob Marley's song, Get Up, Stand Up. You know what? Stand up for your right. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Just bear with me whilst we line up the song nicely for you. Just bear with me. That was Babylon System. I didn't want you to enjoy Babylon System. Let's take this quick commercial break. I'll bring you Get Up, Stand Up for your right. Yes.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up no fight.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up no fight. Preacher man, don't tell me, even so under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. If you don't touch me, that's gold. How the story has never been told, and now we see the light. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Come on, get up, stand up.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up for your right. Oh, get up, stand up. Don't give up no fight. You kick and fight on east and kissing game that you want even in the use and girl. We know when we understand. I like it that it's a living man. You can do something people sometimes, but you're good to full of people all of the time. And now we see the light. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up.
Well, get up, stand up for a ride from Christopher Adariho. Okay, that's a one music that actually excites you and pushes you on, edges you on to do something. Okay, if you are seeing some ruts in where you are, you need to get up, stand up. And you know what? Stand up for your ride, because you don't, someone will continue to trample upon you, trash you, and destroy you. All right, then. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 1 minute past 12 the time. Let me announce the lines open. 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. Those of you in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp at 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. So stay tuned. Let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds this morning from other parts of the world. And as you know, at 12:30 exactly, I'm going to finish. I'll bring the first part of the program to a close, and then we'll move on to the Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. When it comes to all your money issues, look no further. Just look out to him, and he will bring that your way. He comes your way every Friday from 12:30, where it brings you all the tidbits, what you need to know, the tough times, the challenging times, energy costs rising, and everything. Try to bring you everything that you need to know and how to go about it. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Exactly in the next 27 minutes, we should have Mr. Dan Tabiri on. All right then. Now moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, and that this time round from Ghana. Well, whilst people are struggling, whilst people are suffering, whilst people are actually finding themselves, scratching the bottom of the barrel. Now, the ruling party in Ghana, that is the MPP, seem to be looking at who is going to be the next flag bearer. How are we going to keep ourselves in that particular position? And this time round, Samuel Archie, member of parliament for Ebuakwa South constituency in the Eastern region, has called for a consensus on which pairing to lead the governing New Patriotic Party MPP into the 2024 general election. In his view, the party should stick with Vice President Dr. Bawumia as flag bearer and Trade and Industry Minister Alan Chirmantin as his vice presidential candidate. Now, making a submission, Tachia said he was of the strong view that the pairing would save the party money and also engender unity ahead of the keenly awaited polls. I hold on very strongly to that view because in these times we have no luxury of wasting money and threat of disunity. We have been warned by the party not to make such open declarations, he stated. Atacha enumerated the relationship he had with each of the prospective candidates reportedly vying for the slot. All these people are people of prestige and capacity. Now, do you think that's going to be something that they will adhere to, or they will think that, come on, out of the window, from one ear or through one ear and out through the other? What do you think is going to happen there? It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. More of that going to be coming your way. We're bringing it your way as and when they break. And so, moving on. Now, when they talk about stranded Nigerians in the UAE, Dubai, where we were talking about the fact that Olayomi was talking about 200 plus people who might have to be repatriated, but the MOFA has rescued 431 stranded Ghanaians in the UAE. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration is putting in place measures to rescue some 431 stranded Ghanaians in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that most of our stranded Ghanaians who are currently in detention at the Al Tawadi Medical Center and Immigration Center were misled by unscrupulous agents who promised unavailable jobs in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. Now, the statement added that agents were paid significant sums to facilitate the entry prospective travelers into the UAE. The stranded Ghanaians are made up of 341 males, 88 females, and 2 children below the ages of 3. Now, the ministry's attention has been statement saying that the ministry's attention has been drawn to the detention of some Ghanaian nationals in Dubai at Al Tawadi Medical Center and Immigration Center. According to the report, there were 431 Ghanaians comprising 341 males and 88 females and 2 children below the ages of 3 at the medical center, as well as an unspecified number of African migrants, which we did talk about that earlier on in the submission by Mr. Olayomi. In the wake of the above developments, officers from our consulate general in Dubai visited our stranded compatriots at the detention center and extended proximity consular assistance to them. From our investigations, it can be confirmed that most of our stranded compatriots were misled by unscrupulous agents who promised unavailable jobs in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. The agents were paid significant sums to facilitate the entry of the prospective travelers into the UAE. They only discovered that the jobs they were promised were non-existence. This development of non-availability of job opportunities in Dubai has often placed our compatriots in a precarious condition, making them vulnerable and easy targets for arrest and detention by the law enforcement agencies in the UAE. In this circumstance, the Ghana Consulate General is in touch with the host officials on the matter for the protection of the welfare of our compatriots at the detention centers. Even though our stranded compatriots went to EAE on their own volition, the government of Ghana is making necessary efforts in collaboration with the UAE authorities to effect the evacuation of our stranded nationals back to Ghana. Kudos to them. Let them get them back. And those who seem to see to these issues, I think they have to be brought to justice one way or the other, because they take huge sums from these individuals, and this is what happens. At times, people go take loans and start families sell their properties just to use it for such ventures, and look at what is happening. Can you just imagine somebody going home? I mean, well, they sold something of worth, thinking that they will get something back, and look at where they find themselves. It's a very, very sad one. Now, one other story: Oforiatta must be prosecuted for making Ghana poorer, Arise Ghana is saying. Now, interestingly, there was an attack from Dr. Martin's favorite broadcaster, KKD, who was saying that he thinks that Ghanaians are suffering, and we have the finance minister Ken Oforiatta and his company and his family, just enjoying life. Now, a pressure group, Arise Ghana, has called for the arrest of the Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, for mismanaging the economy. According to the group, the Minister of Finance has committed a crime against the state in a conflict of interest position by enriching his company at the expense of the state. Now, the economy is now managing them. They are not managing the economy. President tells us that we are saboteurs who want to destroy the economy, or we are seeking a job. That is why we are saying all these things. In fact, if he says that this is a solution confronting us, which is why we are making noise, then we are in a terrible state, and we have no option but to call for the arrest of the finance minister. That is why I'm praying that he returns to Ghana safely, so that arrest can be effected, since President Kufuor cannot sack him. A leading member of the group, Bernard Mona, said. Now, he continued, for the crime of defrauding this nation at a time when the nation is becoming poorer, his company is becoming rich. For insider trading, getting to know what the government wants to do and leading his company to take advantage of it, because he is also taking advantage of the situation, there is a conflict of interest. These are crimes against the state of Ghana. So do you think that there will ever be a prosecution of this sort? What is it going to be? Citizens arrest, or what kind of arrest is it going to be? He added that the group will not resort to suing Oferiatta in the law court because the majority of us have lost confidence in the judicial system, and it's not me alone that is saying so, quote and unquote. The former People's National Convention National Chairman further stated that the Minister for Finance and the Economic Management team have mismanaged the economy and have rather decided to heap taxes on Ghanaians. Now, do you agree with him or not? And what do you think is the way forward? What do you think can be done? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. And I didn't ask the question earlier on before we went on the break. They're asking about the free SHS policy government flagship program that they introduced. I mean, it was one of their campaign promises, and they came in, they just straight on went on. Don't worry, there is enough money. Some people are of the view that looking at the budget that goes into, the free SHS, it shouldn't be that daunting to the state, so the state should be able to manage that. But if that is the case, then why is the state not being capable of managing it the way it's supposed to be? But I remember back in the day before they started this free SHS, most of us were of the view that it should be means tested. Now the poor in society, the vulnerable, need help. They need the help that they have to get them through education, because education is a right of everyone. But there are people or other group of people who have got a means to support. I mean, there are some people who take their kids. I mean, after this, take them every holidays they come to fly outside the country. So they've got a means to do so. Why should they also be enjoying the same thing? But well, the government is saying that, look, we're not going to budge. We're going to be standing on it, making sure that we still go on all out, implementing it, whatever happens. There have been few research by various groups who are saying that, look, there should be a bit of adjustment, fine-tuning of this, and it's going to be wonderful. But government seem not to be hacking to that. Meanwhile, we find ourselves in a very precarious situation. Now, how do we go on from this point when schools are now inviting all students and some affiliated bodies to come to their aid to help them fend for students who are in the boarding house? So what's the way forward? Now, I think it's getting to a point where we're going to be having some parents who can afford to say that, look, I'm not going to take my ward to the government assisted secondary schools. I'll then take them to some private schools. Private secondary schools where I know that I have to fend for them. I have to pay for it. I pay for it, and I know my child is having 3 square meals and whatever they want to do with themselves. Okay, now what do you think? I want to have your take on that. It is 14 minutes past 12. It is the morning show, the Friday edition. Now let's move on straight to some other stories making the rounds on the African continent. And this time round, Nigeria joins the world to commemorate Humanitarian Day. Well, I was asking myself earlier on, what are they doing about that? Okay, and challenges of national dialogue is one of the stories making the rounds there as well. And the Senegalese-born TikTok star gets Italian citizenship there as well. And Ethiopia calls World Health Organization chief comments on Tigray unethical. So what statement did the World Health Organization boss say? The Ethiopian government had described as unethical the statement of the World Health Organization's Director General that crisis in the country Tigray region is the worst disaster on earth, and its assertion that the lack of attention from global leaders may be due to Tigrayans' skin color. The spokeswoman for Ethiopia's Prime Minister on Thursday told journalists that the comments by the World Health Organization Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus were unbecoming of such a high-profile position. Bilen Seyom suggested that Tedros himself, an ethnic Tigrayan, should recuse himself from his post if he wants to talk that way. The World Organization chief, in an emotional statement on Wednesday at a press briefing, asserted that the 6 million people in Tigray have been under siege for the last 21 months because of the conflict that erupted there in the late 2020 between Ethiopian and Tigray forces. And he went on further to say, I haven't heard in the last few months any head of state talking about the Tigray situation anywhere in the developed world. Why? Now Tedros asked, maybe the reason is the color of the skin of the people in Tigray. Now, very little humanitarian aid was allowed into Tigray after Tigray forces retook much of the region in the June 2021, and the humanitarian workers and local health workers described people starving to death and basic medical supplies running out. Aid has started flowing more substantially in the past few months amid international mediation efforts, but the deliveries are widely described as inadequate to meet the needs of the millions of people essentially trapped there. Aid groups say major shortage of fuel to deliver supply remain, and that has been one of the hiccups there as well. But I hope that they will see to it. Maybe one trying to call on the developed world to comment on it, which I agree with him, because look at what is happening. So I don't know why the Ethiopian leaders are saying things of the sort, because you take an example of what is happening in Ukraine and you have the Western world, I mean, in the forefront saying that we need to give them a place to dwell, we need to rescue them, we need to do all sorts. Nothing much have been said about the Tigrayan situation. What was the sin of the Tigrayans? Is because they wanted to separate themselves from Ethiopia, and they did their own had their own elections, or so what exactly is happening? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We have to speed up. Okay, and where do we speed up to? Looking at some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, because in the next 13 minutes we'll be having the Money Hour with the Money Man himself. Now, children killed as storms sweep across Europe. Now, at least 12 people, including 3 children, have died in violent storms after weeks of heat and drought. Nino weather phenomenon. 3 charged in infamous U.S. mob boss murder. Now, notorious Boston gangster James Whitty burglar was beaten to death in prison in 2018. Now, one story that's making the headlines across the globe this morning pertains to the nuclear plant in Zaporizhia. Russian forces occupying the Zaporizhia nuclear plant in the southern Ukraine are restricting access of staff to the plant. Ukraine's nuclear agency seems to be saying it warns that Russia wants to disconnect power units supplying the Ukrainian electricity grid and is planning a provocation. The plant in southern Ukraine is Europe's largest nuclear plant, and both sides have accused each other of dangerous shelling. Meanwhile, the Russian annexed Crimean Peninsula appears to have come under further attack. It will be the 3rd time in 10 days. Explosions were heard overnight near the Belbek air base outside Sebastopol, which has been used for strikes against Ukraine. The Russian governor said a Ukrainian drone was shot down, but insisted no damage had been done. Now, attacks are also continuing in the northeastern Ukraine city of Kharkiv, with at least 20 people reported killed in strikes in recent days. Well, to what end? That's a question I do ask all the time. Where will all this stop? Okay. Now, a man has been charged with murder of the man on mobility scooter. Libya is charged with the murder of 87-year-old Thomas O'Halloran, who who was stabbed in West London. I'm grateful that people rose up to the occasion this time around, bringing in or making sure that whatever has happened there never went on. Justice wasn't served, and with the CCTV footage, people were able to identify him, and the person has been arrested and has been charged. Now, energy costs risk humanitarian crisis. This is what the NHS is calling on government to do. The rising numbers of people will fall sick, see their health worsen unless the government takes further action to limit energy prices, price rise. The NHS is saying. The NHS Confederation said the UK was facing a humanitarian crisis. The group, which represents health bosses, said many people will face the awful choice between skipping meals to heat their homes or having to live in cold and damp conditions. But ministers said actions was already being taken and the NHS supported. Now, this includes £400 payment to every household this autumn to help pay energy bills. However, in a letter to ministers, NHS leaders said that rapidly rising energy prices, along with the other cost of living pressure, will still leave individuals and families facing impossible choices. They warn that if people are forced to live in cold homes and cannot afford nutritious food, then their health will quickly deteriorate and the NHS will be left to pick up the pieces. Now, cold conditions can lead to a rise in respiratory conditions, and in older people can also increase the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and falls. Cold homes are already linked to 10,000 deaths a year, the NHS Confederation have said. So what should we expect, or what can be done? It's a sad one there, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. And it's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:22. And then I have a couple of other stories here. A man has been arrested after girl 6 was abducted and assaulted. A 23-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of abducting and sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl in Greater Manchester. Officers believe the girl, who they previously said was 7, was abducted by a man in Warren Avenue, Droylsden, at about 16 hours BST on Wednesday. She was led down a path towards a football field and assaulted before she was safely reunited with her family. The 23-year-old was arrested earlier and remains in custody. Greater Manchester Police had warned parents to be extra vigilant following the assault. Following the arrest, the force thanked the public for its help so far after previously releasing CCTV images of a man they wanted to speak to in connection with that case. And a good one there, this around another CCTV footage helping to bring to justice or the arrest of perpetrators or alleged perpetrators of such act. I just made calls for more period sports signs. Okay, as one of the stories for those of you interested in all the sports activity. Now, growing share of under 30s pay unaffordable rent. Now, the story says people under 30 are facing a growing cost of renting crisis. New figures seen is suggesting. Now, 4 in 10 of these age group are now spending more than 30% of their pay on rent, according to the data, a 5-year high. Now, experts say spending this level of income on rent costs is unaffordable. While London has the highest rent affordability, has worsened in towns such as Rotherham, Bolton for young people since the pandemic. The data suggests under 30s spend more of their earnings on rent than other working age groups. The figures cover 150,000 young people and were supplied by property market consultancy Dataloft. Now, Megan Stephens and Richard Stearns are from London, had their rent put up for half of their wages to 2/3 of them. Now, they're saying we were not expecting such a big increase. That was a real punch in the gut, Mrs. Rank said. It comes as younger people's finance are being squeezed amid rapidly rising living and rent costs and fall in real income. But my question that I've been asking is, what are the youth, the young ones, the under 30s, who, when they decide, you know what, I've had enough of you parents, you telling me what to do when I go out, what time to come home and all that stuff. And even when they are of age and therefore you just decide they can do whatever, they can go out and come back whatever time that they want, and they don't do no household chores, and you are telling them save your money, and they don't want to do so. All that they want to do, just go out partying, buying stuff, wasting and not saving any money. Meanwhile, you're living at home. What advantage are you taking for living at home? The advantage of spending and wasting your money? Well. It shouldn't be like what the Japanese are trying to introduce when they want to introduce the youth to drinking alcohol, because they think that they're not getting more taxes from alcohol, so they don't want to introduce something of the sort. A campaign to get the youth to get themselves involved in alcohol. And I didn't talk about that yesterday, but it's a sad one. But if you are living at home, make sure you save. Okay? You're living with mom and dad. In the pockets of mom and dad. My goodness. Don't waste your money. Because it's going to get to a point you will put your finger in your mouth and you'll be biting it. You don't want to be so. Well, on that note, let me say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us today on Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a break. And once we come back from there, we'll be bringing you the Money Man. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. It's me, Archie, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. Addis Gencha will be crossing over to where our money man is. He's going to bring you the money hour. And today we are still looking at the bills support, bills and income support the government is putting across. Well, they say they're giving you 400, they're giving you 650 over the period of time, by which we know that it's not enough. But Mr. Tabiri is going to be talking about that. And I want them to say once again, good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri. And what are we looking at today? Yeah.
Where we can to reduce the bills that we have. So it's important that we get the right information, to see what support systems are out there, what are some of the things that we can do to reduce our bills, to save some money. And the place to do that will be this through Starr Radio UK on a Friday afternoon.
Yes, listeners, as we assured you, that is the man who can guide you. All right. Now, so let's talk about bills here. So I was sitting down quietly, just reflecting and looking at some of the consumption that goes on at home. And I'm looking at where do you cut? Where do you start from? So looking at the bills, I mean, generally, where do you think people can cut down on some of their bills? And then we come to how helps that are available.
Yeah, so I think the first thing we need to look at is what support is out there. By all means, energy bills is very topical at the moment. So anything you can do at this time to reduce your energy bill. Luckily, the sun has been on and we have actually been too hot, so most people have not put their heating on. But we have to cook to eat and all that, so we're still using gas and electrics at home. We all have to be mindful of our usage. If we haven't taken any particular attention at all of the usage that we make at home, then this is the time that we have to. So if there are any rooms with light left on, you know, especially if you have kids at home, they are more likely to leave things light on in rooms even when they are not there. So you have to be mindful, and we have to educate the whole household, especially about the need to, you know, reduce the bills so that everybody is conscious of. So you turn off lights, you turn off gadgets, you know, if you can, don't leave some gadgets on standby, because over time they all draw some electricity or draw power, which increase your bill. So use the various tips that are available, basically to try and conserve or reduce your usage, and that's one way to do it. Another way would be also to see and understand what help is out there for your energy bills. We know that the government has scrapped the previous support that is announced to give £200 of energy loan, you know, to reduce our bills, which would have been repayable over 4 years. This has been replaced by a £400 discount on our energy bills in autumn, which we are expected to receive. So we all have to make sure that when you get your bill, this is being reflected. This is going to be applied across board on all bills. So let's look out for that to make sure we receive this credit on our bills.
Now, interestingly, one question that seems to be going through the minds of people is, if I can't pay, what can I do? Because at the moment, as you say, because we are in summer and this is, so people are not turning on their heaters that and the electric, they are not turning those on. But that is going to come autumn and winter. Now, and people cannot pay. What can they do?
So if you cannot pay, I can assure you, you will not be the only one in that situation. You know, in these kind of situations, the only thing you do is to speak to your energy supplier. Obviously, after you have exhausted all other support mechanisms in place, i.e. universal credit, pension credit, tax credit, housing benefit support, and all that. After you've exhausted all of that, if you're still struggling, speak to your energy supplier. They always have support systems in place that they will be able to speak to you or able to direct you as to what you need to do.
Okay.
The best way of dealing with this is to communicate and not, disregard the bills that come through the door, or ignore the warning letters. That rather makes the situation worse, and you would get letters and things that increase your anxiety in this times, and that is not very good for your mental health. The good thing to do is to speak to your energy supplier directly, explain to them your situation. They would go through some form of income and expenditure assessment to see how much disposable income you've got, and if they are able to establish that indeed you need help, they might be able to do something, even give you a discount or write some of these bills out. There are various things that are available, but you need to communicate with them.
Okay. Well, so now, listeners, you are listening to Star Radio UK, the morning show with our money man on the Money Hour. He's Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. Now, when it comes to all your accounting issues, name it, he's there to help you out. Okay, you go in, you just say Star Radio UK, you get a discount for that as well. Those who have done that can attest to that. So please make sure in the abundance of water you not become a fool who is thirsty. All right then, and we are putting information through. Today we are looking at bills and income support available in these dire or challenging times or difficult times, as some others are putting it. Now, Mr. Tabiri, now people are looking at credit ratings, and here, if you have to go for any credit, how you've actually managed your income and your outflows is what pertains to it. And so people are of the view that if it happens that I'm not being able to pay my bill, and I go to the supplier and say that, look, this is a challenge that I have, and sometimes it might end up affecting their credit ratings. Is that a possibility?
No, not at all. If it affects your credit rating when you default on loans and agreements that you've got. So if you approach them and speak to them, then they are more likely to deal with you on a level where they would not resort to putting a bad credit on your credit file. So yes, so it still remains the same, that the best way to deal with this is to communicate with them, and this should not affect your credit file. So long as you have some arrangement, some agreement with them, they will not do that to your file.
Okay. So it's very important, if you're listening to us, to get in touch with them, get the necessary help that you need. Now, you were talking about some available income support as well, because people, you go to some of the supermarkets, you look at things that is going on. I get worried, because I like going to the supermarket a lot of times, looking at things, looking at how people behavior and stuff like that, and you can see that people are under pressure. But you were talking about the fact that there are other income support available. Which are some of them, sir?
Yes, definitely. So we'll go through a few of them. Some of them we've mentioned before. If you are in receipt of any disability benefits, then remember you have a £650 cost of living payment for disabled people who also receive means tested benefits. So these payments, I would expect that by this time most people would have received their £650 payment. So if you haven't received it, then you need to look and see and ask the questions and find out from HMRC when you'll be receiving this. Also to remember that there will be an extra one-off £150 payment to those who are receiving this disability cost of living payment. So that is a top up to take them up to £800. Okay. And then also there's winter fuel payments and pensioner cost of living payment. So these are help available to help our pensioners. So in the winter months, pensioners can get between £100 and £300 to pay specifically heating bills. and they would also receive an extra one of £300 pensioner cost of living payment, which will be paid as an automatic top-up to the winter fuel payment. So this would go directly to, mitigate some of the rising cost of the fuel payment, which is expected to hit this winter. And that is the government support that is available to help through the winter period when the energy bills or the energy price cap, which is expected to increase in October this year. There's also, we need to remember, there's also the council tax rebate. A few people have still not received their rebate, either because they have not completed the right forms, or they are not aware or have not responded to their councils. As at the moment, it's estimated that 4 out of 5 households in England have not received their £150. 4 out of 5 households have received their council tax rebates. So we have 1 in 5 who have not received theirs. So if you haven't, you need to get in touch with your council and see how you can make this claim and get your £150 back. Every little helps, as they say in these times, so you can get some relief. Then for those on receiving certain benefits, there will be £25 extra a week if you are receiving certain benefits available during the winter period when the temperature is 0 or below for more than 7 days. So you need to check with HMRC if you are on certain benefits, whether you qualify to receive this £25 extra a week. This is expected to come in the winter months, and we hope that this would also help people to cushion themselves against this high inflation and high cost of living that we are all experiencing.
Okay. Listeners, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who this afternoon is with us, bringing us some information that will help you go through these challenging times. Namely, we're looking at some bills and the income supports that are available to you wherever you might find yourself. So just stay with us. We're going back to him for him to put any other information that he has across. But one question that someone is asking is there any help for businesses?
Yeah, so businesses at the moment, as we know, we came out of the COVID support schemes. Businesses have not had any extension of support being made out to them at the moment. As we know, the elections for the next leader is here with us, and one of the topical issues at the moment being discussed or debated has to do with the issue of tax cuts.
Yeah.
And so that is the subject that is on the table at the moment. The Chancellor, or the previous Chancellor, was pushed to cut VAT, and we don't know what is going to happen. We all have our fingers crossed to see what the next government is going to do by way of VAT and general taxes. Really, we might see a reversal if one of the candidates gets their way, because they are campaigning on the basis, on the grounds of tax cuts, and so we might see some changes in that aspect. But generally, there isn't any more support, direct support, or funds or pool of funds that businesses can access. Understand that we still have the recovery loans still available. We still have the new business or startup loans still available. The businesses would have to look to see if they qualify for these. Obviously, the relaxation of the rules that we had during the pandemic have all been removed, and these loans are now being given on very commercial terms. And we know the interest rate is rising, so you'd have to consider carefully what you need to support your business. And if you definitely need some funding, you'd want to look into how you can qualify for these loans that are available.
Okay. Well, listeners, interesting help available for you. As I've said all the time, and I continue to say, don't be a fool. Excuse my words there might be too harsh, but don't be a fool and get thirsty while there is abundance of water. There is help. These are difficult and challenging times, but hey, do your best, get help as and when you need it. But we got our money man who can help you, advise you when it comes to your accounting and all that stuff. Yeah, whether it's business, whether it's self-employed, name it, he's there to help you on that front. So we'll go to him once again for him to run up the discussions that we had, and he's going to put his contact details across. And please make sure you get in touch with him. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so we should also be aware that we know that the government has provided household support fund to councils. So really, if you are struggling, like you know, in an answer to your question previously, you can also speak to your council, because they have some funds that they are able to disperse on a discretionary basis for essential daily costs like energy bills. So you know, for people, recipients, it would include pensioners and families with children. If you approach your council and say you want to access the household support fund, they would do the necessary checks and make sure that you are adequately supported. So let's not lose out on these support systems that are available. One thing that we can also do is that currently we have 0% VAT on energy saving materials. So it will be cheaper for you to install energy saving materials such as thermal insulation or solar panels with 0% back for the next 5 years. And this, we know, would also help to improve energy efficiency in your homes and keep your heating bills all down. So these are some of the things that you can be looking at to see, to be able to reduce your bills. Yeah, there are things like, you know, looking to see things like phone and broadband costs going up everywhere. It's important that people check and look at what's on the market to see if there's any possibility of switching to another lower tariff rate. Look at your contract to see if there's you're nearing renewal of your contract. Then you'll be looking to get the best rates out there on the market. Another thing that I would also mention is, you know, many water companies run hardship schemes or fund independent charitable trusts, which can help with your water bills. So look into this. Ask your water provider if you are struggling with a bill, to see what schemes or what support they can offer to you. So these are some of the things that if you don't ask, really, you won't get. But if you're struggling and you let them know, you communicate, then they will be able to support you. And lastly, I would say that TV license fees has been frozen at £150 for the year until 2024. So this means that households will not see any change to license fees until the 1st of April 2024, and this should go a long way to help, you know, reduce our bills. There are lots more things that we all need to know and understand and try and use to our benefit, and the only place to do that At the moment, I'll direct you to Star Radio UK every Friday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. We try and bring you money-saving tips, try and bring you tax-saving tips, anything that we can find information that will help households especially, we will do so. If you have any questions, need any help or assistance, I'm ready to speak to you on 079-6124-8834. 079-6124-8834, or you can email me at dan@glaccountant.com. dan@glaccountant.com.
Okay, let's say thank you very much, Mr. Dan Tabiri, for that money hour and those tidbits that he sent your way or gave to you. I hope that you adhered to it or you listened to it. If you've not, you can go to our broadcast, go back there, re-listen to it. It'll help you a great deal. If you have any other questions as well, his contact details that he put across, please get in touch with him and he will help you on that front. When it comes to your accounting issues, whether self-employed, business, accounting, name it, anything relating to that, he is there to do. He is your man. And when it comes to his prices, they are affordable, taking into consideration everything that is going on at this time across the world. His is affordable. Okay, yeah, so make sure you get in touch with him on that note. But on that note, let me say thank you very much for tuning in once again to listen to us on Star Radio UK. This weekend we'll be bringing you the Sunday service as well, and the Faith Talk with KB Bossman will also be coming your way, so make a date with him on all those programs. But I note, it's 9 minutes to the end of the program, to the top of the hour. That's 9 minutes to 1. But this is why I bring the program to a close for today. I hope that you've enjoyed the show. To as many of you who join us on the various platforms, I salute each and every one of you, and I hope to see you all on Monday. And as we say on the platform, may Nigeria not happen to you? Have a wonderful weekend and see you all later. Enjoy the song once again. Get up, stand up for your right.
People, as you all know, Zion here coming at you again with another tutorial.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
This is Star Radio UK.
Damn crazy. Damn crazy. Damn crazy. We gonna test us crazy, ballin', all them down. Just